Good evening. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Yes. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes. Good evening. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening. Should we start with the class? Or should we wait for Pradeep sir? Should we wait for 1 or 2 minutes?
No, ma'am. Start, ma'am.
No, ma'am, start. Okay.
Can we start the class, Pradeep sir, or should we wait for 2 or 3 minutes?
Yes, ma'am. You can start, ma'am.
Hello, I can't hear you. सबसे आवाज भी सब खराब है.
Ma'am, you can start.
I can start.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
No, no, you can.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So today I'm starting on the class. Last class. Achha, first of all, let me ask you whether you have any questions or not. Any one of you have any questions?
Ma'am, I was just going through the first two units, and more or less like everything like are there.
Padrupa, can you be a bit louder?
Yeah, I was just going through the first two blocks which you had actually discussed. There is this question in this Islamic education which is there. That part. One question was there. I just gone through it in the second, like from the textbook, and it says that what is the present status of Islamic education in India? So if this type of a question comes, like how do we go about with the answer? Because whatever is there is the evolution of Islamic education. So, like they are asking about the current status. So, in that case, what do we write?
All right. All right. So, do you know it is in which book? I want to discuss with the book itself. You have the book with you?
Yes, yes, I have it. It is page. You want me to tell me the page number? Like what? It's MES 12.
I don't. I don't want the book. I don't want the page. I just am going to tell you.
Yeah, yeah. I have the book. I have the book with me.
But if you have the book, you don't need the book. But I think if you have a pen or a pencil or something.
Yes, yes, I have. I'm noting it down. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is that your question was that does it have any does it have any relevance? But more or less, the question would be from your point is that what is the relevance of the Islamic concept in India? That is the present status.
What is the present status? Yeah.
Present status, or you can say what is the relevance? That is the main thing. Same, more or less the same thing. What is the present status? में नहीं होता है whether it is prevalent, whether it is relevant.
Okay.
Any, does it have any what should I say impact? Does it is it important for the present context of India? So more or less all these words are same, depicting the same thing, and we are going to have only one answer to it. Yeah. So more or less the question is a very important question that we are going through different types of language acquisition, Jainism, and we are learning a lot of Westernization is also coming. In that, the culture and the education system of the British is also in our education system. But we have the Islamic concept also in our Indian education system. So does it have, more or less that you are asking, does it have any relevance? Does it have any impact? So that is the thing. First of all, in this type of questions, you have to answer that what are the different philosophical, first your introduction. I'm just telling you that I think you wanted to know how to answer them. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So in this type of questions, when you are asking me, just write it down. The main thing that is from now, the thing is that first time you are asking me, but when the next time when you will be asking me, you yourself will be able to answer it back yourself. So I'm telling you in that way. I'm giving you the formula how to answer these types of questions. Okay. That, you have to write an introduction that whether there are different philosophies of different thought process. Are there any philosophies of educating or it has any impact on Indian education system? Are there any philosophies which are working to influence the education system of India? First, this is the introduction. This will be the answer. This question, answer to this question has to be the introduction. You have to say, when I teach you philosophies, are there any philosophies which are giving influence to the Indian education system? First of all, you have to say that in the introduction part. In that, you have to say what are the different philosophies that are working to influence the education system. This is the introduction part. The second part would be the most important part. What are the different characteristics of Islamic concept of education system. What are the different characteristics? What when I teach, what should I say? What are
the features mainly.
Feature, concepts and everything. What are the so that should come up over here. Okay. Next part, what you have to say the relevance. Now the relevance is that part where you have to say the different the key features of Islam. Now, as far as I remember, the key features of Islam that there is infinite reality of God, that there is no idol worship, there is suppose like I said, there is diversity of thinking also. Then the knowledge has to be very personal, collective point of view. You have to think about the community welfare. You have to look up the environment. Then there are, I think, the Quran and that those are the main pillars of stability of knowledge of academics. Then you have to say about the historical the phenomena. Like we have in Christianity, the Old Testament and the New Testament, different philosophies that are they coming up with. In the same way, say about those. Then you have to say about what are the different obligations of the Muslim community, what are the opportunities, what are the different benefits of Islam, how does it relate to mankind benefit. Then more or less, as far as I remember, these are the different points that you have to say, major points that you have to say that how it is related to Indian context. So in that case, what is the system that is going on in the Indian system of education that you can relate it over here? Now the thing is that has it got implemented in the country? Does this influence the Indian culture? These are the main things. Does it have any value? Those will be your conclusions. Conclusions means doesn't mean that you have to write a small little paragraph. Yeah. So you have to write the characteristics, then you have to write the features, and then you have to say whether it is enriching our Indian culture, our value system, our language system, whether it is improving our, I would say, our literacy, whether it is improving our inclusive or mainstreaming, inclusive trend of education, mainstreaming the disabled, differently able persons in the education system, whether it is giving importance to the whether it is giving importance to the I would say the disadvantaged groups of the society, the weaker sections of the society. I think you know in this Ramadan period, people they after the Ramadan period they keep the um, if I'm not mistaken, as far as I have my students in going through Ramadan month, they feed their uh, people who doesn't have food or something. After in the evening, they go for they feed the people who have not, or they sometimes if a very old person who wants to keep that fast cannot be he cannot keep the fast also. They can share their fasting with somebody else also. They can share that fasting. So why do excuse me, sorry to disturb you in the middle. Yes. But I think if you ask someone Muslim like me or someone else to describe the current situation and the things that are going on, and if you also have some problem, you can ask us. They will be, able to interact better and tell you information and things that happen during Ramadan or in the Islamic education. Yes, yes, surely, because I be very glad to know because there are few people, Pradeep sir knows very well, but there are some people who are doing dissertations under me. Uh, most of them are Muslims. So from there only I have got the information from their interactions. And Pradeep sir knows very well that when the people who are doing dissertations under me, they are mostly Muslims. And from there only, I have heard a lot about the Islam. And I have thought that usually we are Hindus, we think something very different from them. But their culture is also interlinked with the Christianity. That I didn't know. And I heard, but I did not pay heed. But then I thought, then I came up, then I read two books, and they told me also that, ma'am, you go through these books, you go through this article, you will come to know all this. So I was learning from them also that even the Christianity, how Jesus was born and how Mary was became the mother and everything, these are all how Prophet Muhammad was linked with how it is linked with the Christianity. So these are given and these are discussed in different articles. So I have known from them also. I would say I don't have any. I'm not. I feel very proud that I am learning from them also. So I would say that, and just now before your class, Pradeep sir gave me a call, and just before that, I had a student in MPhil also. Her name is Mili Devondesha. He is a Muslim. His husband is also Muslim, obviously. So she gave me a call that, ma'am, tomorrow is Eid, and this time also we could not come to your house or something of that sort. So it is pending, and we are feeling very, very bad and all that. So I was really feeling bad that on this day also they are remembering me. So this is a sort of, this is the culture. This is the culture. Why they are feeling, I am not a Muslim or a belonging to their community, but I am a part of their community, I think so. So that is the culture that I was saying, that this is the value system. So this Islamic education is also influencing, as I was saying, Indian culture, value system, language system. It also improving the literacy system, the gender education, women education, I would say, or girl education. That is also improving upon uh, the mainstreaming of the or inclusive trend or the education for the differently abled person. That is also improving. These are all I would say is the part of the Islamic education. And as one others was saying, that if you go and talk to any of these people from this Muslim community, you will know a lot. You will know a lot that how what type of cultural and I am also, ma'am, I am also a Muslim girl, so that is why I was saying it will be better if second. Yes, yes, yes. What we see is that we have the people to be interactive about it, so we both can learn about things, so many different things we can learn from. So others, I would like to say that what I was saying, am I right or am I wrong? Yes, I'm 100% you're right. I agree. And we do this, talking people are not about it. No, no, no. It is give me polite. I was I had a call with my student, and so that's what I'm saying. So this, what are the question from society? I would come back. That what are the different social changes that are being taken up in the Indian society? That you have to write, and how the economy is also growing of the growth of the economy is also taking place for this agenda. To this Muslim education, you have to say all this. So yes, I got it. I am like how in this context. Uh, may I ask? Yes, yes, Anurag. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. One question. Should we also accommodate the madrasa education system here? Like, since we're talking about the present status in India, so should we also accommodate that? Yes, yes. Surely, the maktabs and the madrasas has to be included. You are very right. That's part of the philosophy also. As you said in the introduction part also, we have to put that because that's the main influence also. Like as it view from madrasa culture is very important. Yes, it has to be pronounced as madrasa, not madrasa. Yeah, I think in the education system, this philosophy of knowledge or something of this sort has to be implemented. And they have a organized curriculum, they have a methodology, they have a transaction process, they have the special teachers also for their teaching learning process. And this institutional just setup hai, that I would say, to the maktabs and the madrasas, these have flourished because to spread the Islamic educational environment. So I think from the medieval period, over here you have to mention, it's good that Anirudh has pointed out this point. And so these initiatives have to be taken up, and how the different Muslim rulers of the 11th century have taken up different educational institutions at different levels, what has been done for the men and the women education. So these have to be mentioned. These have to be mentioned. And over here, I would like to say also that there may be the population may be to some extent less from in context to the Hindus, but with this limited scale also, they are serving a lot to the community. They are serving a lot to the community. So this religious education needs more expedition, I would like to say, so that it also um, enriches science and technical education also. Because the thing is that to some extent, I feel so that science and technical education is not being taken up as it could be in Islamic education. So that part has to be stressed. So, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you so much. It was just I was going through the papers also, and I found that this is like an important question which keeps on coming about Islamic education and their influences.
Yes, these are the important points that you have to mention.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's all right. It's all right. That's why I always tell that if you have any questions, you have to ask me, because this is a counseling class. This is not a teaching learning class. That I am going on saying and saying and saying. So that is not the thing. The point is that you have to ask me few questions so that we can discuss. We have an idea. Yes. So what should I do? Should I go to my own? Or do you have any more questions? Should I go to the block 3? So I start on with the block 3. Okay, madam. Some goals of education. Please, you can, madam. I think. Yes, yes. Yes, would you put forward your question it was not audible. It was not audible. Anyone can tell me what was asked by Karthik? No, actually, I would like to tell you, madam, that you can start with block 3, aims and goals of education. All right, all right. So yes, I can start. So this, yes, Momita, what you want to say? Ma'am, I want to say that we start with block 3. All right. Yes, please. All right. So block 3, what does now the block 3 mainly stresses on the aims of education. What are the different educational aims? Now, what is the aim, significance of education that we have already more or less done in other in MES 11? I think so in MES 11 also you have done this, but over here it is a bit complicated process, a complex process whereby the different aims and objectives of the educational processes are given over here. The relation has been given, a systematic activity, how it can be carried forward in a definite direction, so that each and every activity can be fulfilled. Now, what are these different? What are the different activities? What are the different aims? Now, it can be based on philosophy. It can be based on different subjects, on different disciplines. Now, there are primarily, I don't know what is there in the book, more or less, what I have gone through, just to a rapid discussion. I'm just giving you a rough idea that there are more or less three types of disciplinary, three types of approach. One is disciplinary approach, one is interdisciplinary approach, and the other is a multidisciplinary approach. So that is the aim of education. In disciplinary approach, we have it. The thing is that I'm not going straight from the book because book is there, book is for you, but I am giving you a rough idea and a discussion. We are going through a discussion. So if you have any more questions on this, I will be asking you, and you can ask me. Now, in this disciplinary approach, each and every subject, whether you are from Sanskrit, history, math, literature, language, so you can be from history, geography, any subject. Each and every subject has a different discipline, is a discipline, and each and every subject has a different aim and a goal and an objective. That has to be imbibed by each and every learner. That learner has to imbibe those. If you imbibe those objectives, those learning objectives, if you love those, if you have an affective domain for that particular discipline, then you are going to pick up that subject. If you love geography, studying geography, you are going to take up geography in your higher study. If you love Sanskrit, you will be taking up that. So each and every aim of education, each and every aim of your discipline is depends upon how you are interacting with that particular discipline. Now the interdisciplinary is something different and multidisciplinary is something different. Now in multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary, when you are both are very different, but now I would say that it is being spread to the different when we are in the state of knowledge today in this in 21st century. The thing that each and every subject is given importance. Each and every subject has its own ambience, it has its own knowledge, but it has to be interlinked. It has to be correlated. Otherwise, each and every subject has to be very limited in its expand. So, to extend its vast knowledge for research and development, each and every discipline has to go through interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approach so that we have correlation. Now, suppose I give you an example. Suppose a person is studying history. That approach has to be linked with geography, with science, or with some other environmental education also. Suppose the student is learning mathematics. He or she has to learn environmental education, statistics, or some other subjects also. Suppose he is learning physics. That has to be also related with chemistry, statistics, mathematics, environmental education. So each and every subject has to pour into that particular subject. And that subject has to also make uh, make itself more vibrant and more resourceful by taking best content matter from different other disciplines. You cannot study history as it is. It has to draw upon it. It has to be correlated with other subjects also. So this was uh, discussed and this was given emphasized in different committees, reports, commissions, so that each and every learner finds interest, joy, and I would say goes for research and progress. It is not a cookish or a rote learning method, but it has to be vibrantly interlinked with the environment also, so that it becomes practical enough. So in that way, that interdisciplinary and disciplinary approach has to be gathered. Now the next part of I would say the block 3, that is the unit 8, unit 9, I would say. It deals with different philosophical traditions. Now, what are the different, if the Upanishads are there, the Buddhism, no, not the Upanishads are there.
Sorry for interruption, ma'am.
Annamaya, the Anandamaya, the Vinamaya, the different Pranamaya. So these are the different aims, where the different aims of education are given over here. More or less, you can say that it is related to
Interruption, ma'am, please.
yes, say Alam.
Yes, ma'am. I want to speak some name of education, ma'am. Can I speak, ma'am?
Yes, let me just finish with unit 9 and then I'll come back to you. Yes. Now, in this Upanishads also, this philosophical illustrations, we have also the Jainism. Now, what does this Jainism? According to Jainism, the different thought processes are there, the right to knowledge, determination, speech, right to conduct also, right to vocation, right to choose the different employability or job, right to exercise also, right to remember also. So these are the different processes it has to be taken up. And you have the right to meditation also. So all these philosophies, all these traits are given in the Jainism. In the same way, they have their Buddhist philosophy also. It also has a different array of philosophical traits. Now, this is unit 9. And then we come to unit 10. That is broadly divided into different Western schools of thought, wherein the different ideas, experiences, and the practices are given from the different Western philosophical thought. Now, we have the Marxian theory also over here, that who are the haves and the who are the have not. So these are also dealt in unit 10. It, more or less, it is also a part of the philosophical thought, but it is based on the Western schools of thought. In unit 11, we have the trendy form of education, that is the modern India. What is happening in the modern education policies and the commission. In this case, we have taken up the British or the colonial period type of education, wherein we are where we are discussing about the pre-independence period education and the post-education. So now, what are the different commissions and committees, reports, agendas that have come upon after independence? So after independence, different commission reports in 1948, 49, 52, 86, 92. So all these UNESCO reports, the Delos report, so all these have been discussed in this part, and this part I would say unit 11 is very important from examination point of view, because from here, as Shadrupa was asking me one question from Islam, this is the part from where you will get thought-provoking questions, I would say. So this part, unit 11, as I was saying, as I have made a note over here, that unit 11 has to be stressed by all the students. Is very much important from examination point of view. Because over here, you cannot write in your own words. You have to give factual importance. You have to give factual information, whereby you cannot make up any story. Over here, you have to learn it by heart. When you have to read it, you have to understand it, and you have to write. Because these are the different commission reports that you cannot make it up. What has been given in Kothari Commission of 64 states, or in 253, or in the Mudaliar Commission, or in the Secondary Education Commission, or in the Ramamurthy Commission, or in the school education project of 2000 or 2005, or the education policies. I think education policies of latest 1992, and the latest we have in 2020. All these reports का जो information है, जो facts है, जो relevance है, जो importance है, criteria है, features है, that you have to learn it, and you have to apply it in different type of questions. You have to apply it, and over here you cannot make up any story. This is the fact, and in unit 12, this is very easy part. As I was saying that unit 10 is much harder, but unit 12 is very easier. To some extent, it is very factual also. This is the part where we are dealing with few educational thinkers like Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi. So there are different types of educational thinkers we are dealing with. And just for this part, unit 12, I would suggest you what the questions have come in the last year. Because I myself, when I was a student, I always pick up with those questions. So it was my habit. With my sons also, I do the same thing. So just pick on with the last year's questions, what have come as a long answer or as a short answer. Just pick on with those questions, and then you give importance to those alternate ones. Suppose Rabindranath has come, so you stress upon Krishnamurti or Mahatma Gandhi. So be very economical, be very do justice to your learning, I would say. Because you can't learn all over here because it's going to get mixed up into one. So do justice. You just see what has come in the last year as a long answer or as a short answer or something of that sort. And in that way, you just give importance to your which part you are going to learn for this time. So this is with the unit 12, block 3. Now I go to the block 4. Before going to the block 4, I would come to Alam. Alam, just ask me any questions you have. Then I'll be going to block 4.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to speak my aim of education in my way. Can I speak?
Yes.
Yes, there are two types of aim of education. First is social aim of education, and second, individual aim of education.
What I did not be a bit louder and audible. It's not audible here.
There are two types of education.
Uh-huh.
First is social aim of education, and secondly, individual aim of education.
Yes.
In the social aim of education, we can say education for socialization, economic development, political development, to grow livelihood in our country, to innovative research for our country. There are many innovative things to build a very good curriculum for our schools, our institution. And in the individual aim of education, we can say physical development, intellectual development, emotional development, moral development.
Moral development, yes.
Yes, education for vocational education, spiritual development. Yes, ma'am. And I also want to say about Islamic studies from aim of education. Can I speak?
Yes, yes.
That time I was not in meeting, so there are Islamic aim of education is very innovative aim of education. Like Islam is the first religion who can I speak in Hindi, ma'am?
Yes, but Adam, first let me just discuss block 4, then I'll come to you once again.
Okay, थोड़ा सा बोलना है बस. इस्लाम भी एक ऐसा रिलीजन है मैम जो सबसे पहले एजुकेशन को एसेंशियल ड्यूटी माना है. मतलब एजुकेशन फॉर ऑल. Islam allowed education for all. There are many aims of education like Islamic education, like body development, spiritual development, character making, education for future, and there are there are many mental development, many things in Islamic education. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Aram. Nice that you have. I think the thing is that you have gone through the book. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And,
So, because
nine, 10 में भी पढ़ा है मैं. 9, 10
yes,
मतलब
nice that you go through your book. Yes, yes. Before coming to the class, it is nice that you have just sat down, no, but you have gone through the book and you have discussed with yourself that these are the things. Nice. I like it. It's appreciating that you are feeling interested with this, that the much yeah. So four can four mother block four part. And this is the part that is very practical, I would like to say. As a student, I would like to say that this is the most practical part of education. That very in third language. In third language, you said that how what is the curriculum? The road, rasta, to go to our destination. As we come to our home, we go to the path, we go to the destination. I will talk, I will talk, I will do. So that is the path. You have to also the kind of if we to our destination. From what kind of destination? How are we able to reach the destination? There is learning method, learning outcomes also, which was that I really do this, and there may be some plan there. So this is really so that there are no incident learning outcomes, there are planned learning outcomes. From the examination point of view, the very important question that comes that what are the different and the planned learning outcomes. That is INO and PNO. Often not understood that particular question. Next part is the behavioral whether that particular curriculum is influences your behavior, does it change your behavioral outcome, does it now whether it is rational assessment, whether it is practical versus right learning, whether it is related with the practical life of the learning. Your learning something which is very important. No, so learning so that kind of education has to be there. Like I was saying, education has to be very much on and we have to respond to education as I was saying. So this education is also very important to employability. Does it have a nationally whether that vocation is training to do the he or she can apply after years to go out of the class, out of the school, or he job उसको मिलेगा if he learns how like vocation or vocation job, if after a lot of education if you don't have a job or that is according to your interest, then what will be your benefit? That is okay. So employment so this is part that when you have a behavioral then you have the system for managing the this that subsystems work together and there is regulatory body also. So that's the curriculum best way to translate it. And there are other opportunities also like the intellectual academic approach, where the teacher and the job are philosophy demonstrates the educational goal, outcome, reach the educational objective. This is ideal. That different ideas are given, and each person is very important. In this case, I would say, reference the last year's question. What has come from the year? If yes, because if ideas has come, then ban upon other events of education. But if ideas has come, don't blame ideas that it will not come. It can come as a short answer. What has come in the long short answer, it can come this year and long. So you just take on the last year's papers. So I would suggest all of you download those last year's papers and when you start reading, when you can highlight, you can specifically start with the that is making. So in that case, you just look upon the questions and you check on what reason has come and you listen on like on which come then go on. So this was different psychological curriculum design, how it was create, design for doing best education school. We have other things also like so these are also some of the very important. Next, we need to think this is the kind of part of the question. There is curriculum planning whereby several processes are given. The transition processes are given. That how the different types of subjects, sociology, different trajectories of education. So we can have the best type of education for the nation, for the nation. And also it can be applicable for state and also for the entire world at the local level. So how this curriculum can be applicable for different levels, for national, state, institutional, and also for the individual level. So that part will be just upon in unit 50. Unit 50. Now, for unit 16, I would say that unit 16 is very, very important. Very important because from here, most of the questions come. This is a favorite portion of Ignou education. So, portion with a lot of questions that I don't have time in so I don't think how much more to that because what is the time? Left? Okay. I think 10 minutes. Huh? Do you want to say something? Tony? Yes. Just go through that it is not means 15. Just keep on your that means 15 is very important. A lot of questions come from here. What are the different problems in the education, substance growth, what is student growth, what is age, yeah. Tell me, I would like you to repeat all the units of the course that is having problems in the course. I can't really I can't really so what I'm saying it would be nice if you give us the demo. I can't really can you be a bit louder? Hello, can you hear me? Now, yes, clear louder. Yes, I was saying that no, I say what is others in that way. If someone who has been learning what is it, someone can say what is others. Can you hear or yes, I can hear. Can anyone repeat what is others saying? Please help her out. But let me continue from unit 15. So unit 16, this part is very important. Unit 17, I will say, um, aspect that is where we are going to the evaluation of the curriculum. This evaluation of the curriculum is the part where we need to give a questions on the thought-provoking part. That is, like you have seen in different questions also, the C part, when the ABC is the C part, when it was growth, this is the evaluation part where I will have different types of activities like formative, summative, diagnostic. So these are the different types of evaluation measures of curriculum, and there are different modules also. I would like to say, one thing I would like to say, cognitive module is there. See, I don't have time, so I will not there are two policies and two policy makers, experts, curriculum, uh, educational prefer this model so that the best type of education can for our national system of education. So we discussed over here in education. So that I would like to say that 13 is important for knowledge part of you, but 14 and especially I will stress upon you uh, 14 and 15. These are two important parts. These that you have to look on, that you have to read at least you can at least read. And last unit 17 where we have the curriculum evaluation part. This part is part well. And if you study also you have to read the understand. So I would like to say that unit 17 also there are two models available. Just teach you that you go to this one and see every then you can read that one and more because now actually so if I uh, value uh, one block one, block two, and block three. Block three I'm talking to block three I'm already said. Block one block one. Yeah, block one. Hello. Block one. Block one. They will say block. Wait, I'm telling you. This is block one. You one is very important. Many types of questions come in from unit one. Yeah, unit one you have to go through, and unit three to one question. What that doesn't mean you not be important, but the questions which are answered here is much more in unit one, unit three also, and unit four. Unit four also, yeah. From your that doesn't mean that doesn't mean for the hello. Uh, no, it was asking for it was asking about block one. What's the complication that is important, right? Yes, yes, it's important. Surely it is important. Okay. Now in block two, any part, yes, two and a half block three part must be block two, I know block two, yes, yes, I know block two. Oh, yeah, in block two, unit five is very important. As in unit six, just become that is come in the last third. In that way, it is important. Whether division has come or challenging has come, that you have to check or whether has come. Which one has come? In that way, you just click on the that particular last year का जो आया है उसको click कर दो और बाकी जो वो है उसको तुम study करो. ठीक है. My English is not very bad, but it is understandable. Very good. Very good. All right. All right. Unit seven, the favorite question of Kavita, like you said, Kavita, you just get on whatever Islam has already come last year only. Yes, I think I'm not wrong. Even last year, the year before that. If it has come last year, then this year it is very important. ठीक है. So there is then the whole in-depth study. If it hasn't, if it has already come, just उसको मैंने in the context of coordinator. When I yes, ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, can I ask a question, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. If I can only answer you. Yes. Please tell me what is the main difference between syllabus and curriculum? Oh, this is a very good question. So this is so even in study, the more you can do अच्छा curriculum is a very system. It's an it's a ठीक है. In that part you have lots of different ways. You have lot of topics which are to be discussed as syllabus. ठीक है. The curriculum has both scholastic and post-scholastic items. That is क्या पढ़ना है क्या सीखना है क्या क्विज है डिबेट है curricular and extracurricular. Scholastic means and post-scholastic means extracurricular activity. In a Vedanta, it is only scholastic and scholastic. So curriculum still is only based on the academic part. Curriculum is for longer duration and syllabus is for a shorter duration. Curriculum doesn't change over a period. Syllabus changes from time to time. If there is time limit, syllabus will change. Curriculum can be personalized also. Some so these are four types of Yes, what do you say? I'm saying one thing, just important things from what thing? Love thing? Yes, ma'am. Wait, take a Yes, Lord. Now, what is the meaning? Getting angry with me. That what is the meaning of I love thing? Yeah, love thing. Um, huh? You said it's very important. Yeah, what you get me a with the last year's paper. Always speak on the last year's paper and getting on the back. I think like why don't you with the last year's just get what is done. They use this and do one thing, important one. They start studying. Don't start studying because it will be a very, very nice for you. But take on the way because so can I think about one last thing and now this is study and start in anything how to get it up to do. Then I saw you come up with more thoughts and then I thought that it's platform. Answer this observation. So what is the technology for and I think the problem of one for what is the technology to consume my story, and just for me also how the Arabic of the teachers were like this. মানে আমাদের যে বুকটা আছে বলছিলেন question আছে ওগুলো মানে something yes, yeah. তো এখন obviously I'm মানে লাভ হতে পারি and there is আমাকে হ্যাঁ বলতে
ওকে, ঠিক আছে, লিভ করছি।
Good night, madam.
Bye bye.
আমি একটু বলি বাই ম্যাম। আমি বলতে পারলাম না, বলতে পারলাম না।
শোনো, লাগিয়ে পাই।
আমার শরীর খুব ভালো।
এই করে করে এবার বাবা ঠাস করে মারবে, তখন এইবার ঝগড়া লেগে যাবে। এই করে মা, এই তো মারুন করেছে মা।
কিছু